In today's video, I want to talk about how some of these sneakers are sitting, because I just read a couple of days ago that Nike's going to be cutting production and cutting stock on some of the more classic silhouettes, right? Like they're going to be cutting stock on the Air Force One, for example. And it's just a matter of time before they start cutting stock on these Jordan sneakers, which Jordan said that they were going to cut production in 2025. And I do believe that that's going to happen, man. Maybe even sooner than we possibly think, because a lot of these sneakers are just sitting. They're going for well below retail, which I'm going to talk about the retail price tag here in a second. And then, you know, people are just going to the secondary market like Goat, StockX, eBay to pick up the sneaker that they want, which I don't understand. A lot of people will say like, well, that's them trying to stop resale and is flooding the market with all these sneakers. Listen, it's great that they're making a lot of sneakers, right? But, you know, how's it stopping reselling if resellers are getting them for well below retail and then flipping them for a profit on the secondary market? That's not stopping reselling. A lot of times these sneakers are going for well below retail before the actual release date comes. I'm not saying this one in particular, but these Jordan 9s, right? Like, they're actually moving, right? It appears like they're sitting, right? Because there's pairs available. They made a bunch of pairs of these. They've been making a bunch of pairs of basically every sneaker that comes out. Every GR has a whole bunch of pairs. These had somewhere like 300,000 pairs. And for a silhouette that's not really all that popular, that's a ton of pairs for something like this. And then other pairs will have 500,000, 400,000, and they sit. And that retail price tag, like that $210 is not the price for everything. And I feel like Nike and Jordan Brand feel like it is. $210, it's an OG that no one really asked for, $210. A lot of these other, like the Flint Gray 14s, $210. $210, I feel like, is that price where people start easily passing on sneakers, because once you factor in tax to that, you know, for a lot of states they have like tax on sneakers, you know, you're going to $230, $240 in some cases, you know what I mean, depending on where you live. Some taxes higher than others. No one wants to pay like almost $250 for a pair of sneakers, like straight from Nike. Nobody wants to do that unless it's special. You know, if it's a Air Jordan 4 Bread Reimagined and it was $225 or $250, people would have been happy to pay that, because that's a sneaker probably worth paying for. You know, maybe like a Travis Scott could be $250 or $210 or $225. But a lot of these sneakers that are coming out, man, like a Jordan 2 should never be $200. You know, a Jordan 7, even though I like 7s, you know, people really don't like 7s. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen an Air Jordan 7 sell out in, I can't tell you when the last time was. Maybe the Olympics back in the day. Not really sure, man. You know what I mean? But those will come out and they'll have a $210, $225 price tag. Not everything is worth paying that money for, and but that's what the consumer's telling them. You know what I mean? Like Nike, they got to start cutting some of these prices. They got to start having more of like a tier system. You know, that $190, that was like the sweet spot. You know what I mean? Because after tax it would be, you know, slightly over $200, and if it was a sneaker that they liked or maybe was on the fence, you know, $200. But when you start getting to like $250, you know what I mean? And then if they got to buy multiple sneakers, like, you know, for their kids or their wives or something like that, man, like you're spending a ton of money. So, you know, people's go-to right now is to just sort of like wait it out and get them for cheap later. Get them at the Nike outlet or get them on sale and pay way less than what Nike's charging. So, you know, one thing I do want to point out, man, is the comment of the day I got from Cordell Dozier. And he said, bro, I told you those 9s would sit. Monkey see, monkey do society. People say, oh, what a time to be a sneakerhead. But when the sneakerheads see that they're the only ones buying it and there's no demand for it, they don't buy it either. They start to wonder, can I get it on sale? And then they start to say, maybe I'll just pass because these must not be good. If resellers aren't grabbing these pairs up, resellers set the tone for the rest of these donkeys to follow suit. Nobody admits they're a follower. Everyone claims they're a leader. Now, there is some truth to that, man, because like we got to get out of the mindset that if a sneaker doesn't sell out in the first hour, it's a bad shoe. You know, it's a brick. Nobody wants it. Like, that's sort of like the mindset that we're seeing, right? Like, this sneaker may not be that popular as far as a silhouette goes, but I mean, there's a whole bunch of these. They made a ton of these because it's an OG colorway, and I guess that, you know, they wanted to, you know, make a bunch of them, right? But, you know, a sneaker like this will quickly, you know, sell out over time. You know what I mean? Like, it'll sell out over like a week or so or 2 weeks. You know, you don't really ever see Jordan 9s in the Nike outlet. Like, I don't think I've ever seen one. I'm not saying it don't happen, but I don't think I've ever seen one there. And you know, like this, you know, just because it didn't sell out in the first hour, it doesn't mean it's a bad sneaker. I mean, this is an OG colorway. I mean, it looks great on feet, something like this. You know, personally, I picked up 2 pairs. I got this pair and another pair on the way. But, you know, a lot of times, you know, people will see that, you know, it's not selling out real quick, and then all of a sudden it's a brick, it's a bad shoe, nobody wants it, and they go for way below retail. But it is a great time to be a sneakerhead. Over the past couple of years, it's been really easy to pick up sneakers that otherwise in the years past were really, really difficult or really resold for like a whole bunch of money. But that's probably going to change, man. I made a video a couple of weeks back where I was saying, like, you know, they're going to be cutting interest rates on loans, and houses are going to start reselling again, and the economy projected for 2025 is going to be a lot different than it is today. Inflation should be going down, and you know, with Nike and Jordan Brand cutting stock on a lot of these sneakers, you know, it's going to be probably a little bit tougher to cop, and the ones that you miss out on are probably going to be going for more out on the secondary market. So in a time like this, man, like, you know, go pick up any sneaker that you want, like a Grail or something like that you have this year, because next year things are going to be drastically different. You know, Nike's just not going to stop cutting stock on Air Force Ones. It's going to continue all the way through the Jordan product line and some of these other releases where they're making a whole bunch of pairs and then they're not selling, you know, and that's for a couple of reasons, man. Like I said, these prices are kind of out of control, you know, and you know, I think they need more of a tier system, you know, where they're going to be, you know, 200 and then maybe 225, you know what I mean? But not everything is $210, you know. A Jordan 8 should never be $225, $250. There's just certain silhouettes and certain colorways that it just doesn't really make sense to charge that, but that's what they do. And then, you know, a lot of times, like, they're just going for way below retail before the release date ever comes, which is crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, enjoy it while you can, man. I definitely want to know what you guys think is like the real issue of the sneakers sitting. You know, is it just because there's too many pairs, people just don't have the money, or is Nike and Jordan Brand just charging way too much for the sneakers? But thank you for all your time, attention, and all the support you guys always show me. If you're new here or you haven't yet already subscribed, make sure before you bounce out you hit that subscribe button and you hit that notification bell. I got a ton of dope content on the way, early sneaker reviews, on feet looks, and of course all the information that comes out. I'll see you on the next video real soon. I'm out. Peace. For more sneaker content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you hit that notification bell so you never miss a video.